Hello, everyone. This is Raquel Toussaint, and welcome to my Sunday Night Live. This channel is all about giving career advice and HR tips so that you can navigate the professional world and really make an impact. So, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing. But if you want to just watch a little bit before you hit that subscribe button, I completely understand because sometimes that is a big commitment. So I go live every Sunday night, Sunday evening, but I also post videos as well on just general career tips to help you elevate your career. If you're a young professional new in your career, or you may be a experienced professional, maybe looking to change careers or just change jobs. So definitely consider subscribing if you are here. So tonight is not going to be a long live. I'm probably going to be a little in and out, but I did want to come live. I missed last week, Sunday. I had a lot going on and I was recording for another channel that I have here on YouTube, and I released a video. So I'll be talking a little bit more about this channel and some announcements in the next few minutes. But I see we have 3 viewers in. If you are new here or just want to shout a hey, let me know in the comment box so I know that you are here. About not last week, but the week before the live, it was pretty great. I was going through it. We were answering a lot of questions that came in the form, and also during the week before as live. And so I was answering the questions and I realized that no one was commenting. So I was just thinking that you guys were being quiet or something. I don't know what it was, but I was just like, okay, since no one's commenting, I'm just going to go through my answers to those questions. And that's what I did. It wasn't until after I went live, I realized that I could not see the comments. For some reason, it was a glitch or something like that. And I felt horrible. So a live that I thought went well. Okay, Tiara, I see you. Hi, welcome to my live. We'll be talking all about career advice and HR tips. So I am glad that I can see the comments now. But I see Tiara said hi. But I was oh my gosh, I was crushed because I couldn't see the comments. There were people asking me questions, and I didn't want you guys to feel like I was ignoring y'all. So I did my best to contact those that had commented to answer their questions, but I felt horrible. Oh, Malachi says hi from Atlanta. Hey, Malachi. All righty, so let's get started. I have a few channel announcements. One, my subscriber count. Right before this live, I checked, and we are at 4,898 subscribers. So I am just super excited about that. We're getting very close to 5,000 subscribers. I may do a giveaway or like a celebration video. I did that when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I believe, but I didn't do one since. But I think the 5,000 mark would be a good celebration, a good milestone mark to do like a giveaway or something special here on the channel. But yeah, so it's almost 5,000 subscribers. I started this channel in the thick of the pandemic. I think it was May of 2020, and I had wanted to start a YouTube channel for quite some time, even before the pandemic, but I just never had time. So you hear a lot of YouTubers and content creators say that during the pandemic, they just found the time. So I was still working from home, but I had a lot of time on the weekends because I wasn't going out to events like I usually do. So I started a channel. So it's been a little over 2 years, and we are almost at 5,000 subscribers. So I am super excited. Another announcement is, if you've been following me here on YouTube, you know that for this channel, Raquel Toussaint, I post mainly HR and career videos. I would say 98% of my content is career and HR tips. But I had started to incorporate a little bit more of vlogs and my lifestyle videos within my channel. And the reason I did that is because when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I had asked sent out a survey poll during that video when I hit 1,000 subscribers to ask, what would you guys like to see? What videos you would like to see more of? And I got a lot of response saying that you would like to see more about what I do behind the scenes, not just my career in HR or career advice, but you just want to know more about myself and my family. So I started to do that, and I got some great response from those videos, lots of comments, and I just felt like I connected more with my viewers. So I started that, but I've tried, I think I'm going to pivot a little bit and really just have this channel focused on career advice, HR tips. And then I started another channel, and the name of that channel is Mango Thyme. So Mango, Mango, Thyme is spelled Thyme, like the herb thyme. And that channel is just about my family life, vlogs, and most importantly, my family and I, my husband and I, are building a vacation home in the Virgin Islands. So on that channel, I'm documenting that journey from start to finish. We purchased land, and right now we're in the process of clearing the land, and then we've started building. So I've just put like all my personal videos over on Mango Time, but I've posted a trailer to that channel on this channel last week. So if you click on that video, it will take you straight to Mango Time, and then subscribe there. So I'm only 18 subscribers on Mango Time, so definitely go over there and see what we're talking about and how we're progressing on our vacation home. So last announcement, earlier today, I was working on my next, not my next live, but my next video that I'm going to release on this channel or later this week. And the name of that video was really trying to determine what the ideal career is for you. So I go through some tips on how to, determine what your strengths are, determine what your passion is. You could say it's more geared towards young professionals just trying to figure out, what they want to do, like high schoolers or folks that are in college that they just don't know what career path they want to go into, or just maybe for anyone, right? Because sometimes we work years in a career and we, may have changed. Like, I don't know if I really want to do this. So stay tuned for that video. Like I said, if you're not subscribed here, if you are watching the replay, I'm live now, but if you're watching the replay and you're not subscribed to this channel, definitely subscribe, because I'm going to release that video closer to Wednesday of this week. So you don't want to miss that. I'm excited about that one. So if you are new here, type in new in the comment box. Let me know where you're from, what city you're tuning into. And how this live works is that usually I discuss a topic, but I'm here to answer any career or HR question that you have. Like I said, I'm going to keep it a little short today, and I have a great topic to talk about. But if you have any question or any topic that you would like for me to discuss, just let me know. So I've been working in human resources for over 10 years. So I have lots of experience in the field. So we had great questions the week before on, what is considered transferable skills. Do I look like a job hopper? Things like that, how to get into HR, just because I announced that that's my career. So I had questions surrounding that as well. So if you have any questions, career related, put them into the comment box and I will see them. But until we get questions, I wanted to discuss a interesting topic. And this topic actually came from a question that I got 2 weeks ago on the live. So the question was, what is considered a job hopper? And the reason that question came up is because I was discussing my journey on how I started in human resources and how I landed my career, my first job in HR, and then just going through that story. And in that story, I told that when I was young, I moved a lot with jobs. Like I was like some jobs for like a year and a half, 2 years. And I did that for career progression. But since, I've gotten older, well, I'm not old, but since I've gotten older, I've kind of settled down a little bit. I've been at my current job for over 5 years, in total, really 7 years, because I left and I came back. So I've kind of settled down. So I had some, folks ask me about that even after the live. I got some emails. So I wanted to discuss that because I did. Um, it was a question on my mind, and I was just thinking. And the reason I was thinking more about it is because I am actually currently recruiting for a position on my team. I'm recruiting for an HR manager to work under me in on my team at my full time job. So if you think I'm a full time YouTuber, I'm not. I'm actually not. I actually work a full time job, so I'll be going to work just like everyone else tomorrow. And so I have a team of 6 HR professionals that report to me, and I'm actually looking to add one more person to my team, which will be a manager. So this will be the first time I've managed a manager. So I see that we have Sherry Francis tuning in from the Virgin Islands. Hey, Sherry, thanks for joining us. So, like I said, we have interest on what is a job hopper. So the interesting thing, I was doing a lot of research on this topic, and there was a great article that said job hoppers are risk takers, and I'd never thought of it that way because job hoppers always get a negative reaction, right? Especially now, like I said, I'm looking for an HR manager, so I've been going through a lot of resumes on a daily basis. I'm not a recruiter; I'm an HR director, and the size of my company allows us to have a recruiting department. But because I'm the hiring manager, I've been going through resumes. And so I started to think to myself, am I purposely like not reviewing resumes from folks that have been at jobs maybe just 2 years and a year and a half? And I think maybe there was an unconscious bias that I think I was doing that. And because someone asked that question here on the live, I started to be more aware that that might not be a totally bad thing because someone's leaving a job, maybe every 2 years. It just depends on the situation. And maybe I should talk to that person and see what the situation was and give them a chance. Um, so, hey, we have Brian. Brian is, let's see, I won't. Can't wait to ask questions. Okay. I think you meant you won the giveaway a year ago. Yes, Brian, I remember you. I emailed I think you won a gift card, an Amazon gift card from our giveaway. And so thank you so much for joining. Awesome, awesome. All righty. So the article that I read on job hoppers, it said that job hoppers are people that stay in a job for approximately 1 to 2 years, and then they switch employers for other opportunities. So I guess if you think of that's the definition of a job hopper, someone that stays 1 to 2 years. And if, like I said, in my earlier career, if you looked at my resume, I was considered a job hopper. Right? But I think I have a strong work ethic, and I'm a good employee, and I was, in my 20s at the time, and I was trying to, advance in my career, and I was getting opportunities thrown to me left and right. So that's why, like I said, I'm looking for someone to join my team. I've kind of had to realize that I had that unconscious bias, and I was just putting those resumes to the side from, individuals that have only been at their job a year or two. Then I made me realize, well, maybe someone thought that of me as well. So, 1 or 2 years, I would say too, when I look at resumes, if I would say over the last 5 to 7 years, the person has been at maybe 5 jobs, then maybe there may be a red flag, right? They're staying at their job like every year. Or if I'm looking at a resume and someone's looking to apply for a job with me and they haven't been at their current job for even a year. So let's just say, it's October and someone just started a job in February and they're applying for a job at my company. And I'm like, okay, what happened between February and October? And so it's not a good thing to just put that resume aside. But when a recruiter or a hiring manager like myself gets hundreds of resumes, we may not want to invest the time to figure out why that person's leaving so soon, unless their other experience is like it wows you and you just want to find out more about that person. Alrighty, so let's see. Sherry said, if someone is in their 30s and wants to change careers, what advice would you give them? Great question, Sherry. So, if someone's in their 30s and they want to change careers, we talked about this a little bit on the first live. And I would say the first thing to do is to really identify your transferable skills first, right? Because it depends on what career you are in now and what career you want to go to. I think you need to make an inventory of those transferable skills first, right? So let's just say, for instance, you're an accountant and you want to get into customer service, right? So if you look at I would say start to look at job ads. And I did that a lot when I was trying to get into human resources. So go on Indeed, go on Career Builder, look for job ads for the position that you want to get into. Look at all the skills that they're requiring. And don't focus so much on the experience, because that's going to just discourage you, because you already know you don't have the experience. But look at the skills and then start to look at what you do currently on your current job description, just on a day-to-day basis, and see how you can match what you do now to those skills that they're asking for, and begin to formulate an explanation and a game plan in your mind, right? Because you're going to apply for that position, right? And you want to already you want to anticipate that they're going to say, well, why are you moving from accounting manager to customer service, right? You already want to have an answer in your mind. You already want to throw out some of those skills that you have now that can be used in customer service, right? So I would just say get prepared as well. If you can do it, like I said, when I first started and I wanted to get into human resources, I took an internship, right? If you can, right? If you have time in your schedule to do something part-time in your desired field, I would say definitely do that. And if you don't have time, and if you're at a company, for example, let's go back to accounting and you want to become let's just use human resources, right? So you're an accountant, you want to get into human resources, you're in the accounting department, reach out to human resources. People do that all the time to me in my current role, in all types of different departments, and say, Raquel, I would love to eventually get into human resources. Can I help you with a project, right? So I might not have a position open, that would fit their experience, because maybe I'm looking for an experienced HR person, but they're saying, hey, I would love to help you with a project. I've already checked with my current manager. She or he said it's fine. I would just like to, build upon my experience. I just love that. I would say right now I have, like I said, I manage 6 people. And many of them didn't have HR experience when they came aboard with me, just because I saw that they were interested, and a few of them, volunteered to help me. One of them in particular, she was not in HR at all, and for 2 years she helped me with projects and she reached out. So that's an idea too. But there are so many ways that you could, definitely show your interest in your current company as well. So Cherry, thank you for that question. All righty, Brian said, speaking of resumes, I was an HR admin for a company for only a summer because school started and I had an internship. Should I still put my summer job on my resume even though it's such a short time? So definitely, if your summer job is your chosen career, so if it's an HR internship, definitely put that on your resume. I would say, even when I got my like real HR job, I still had my HR internship on my resume. Anything within the last 10 years that is, um, it was in your field, definitely put that on your resume. Um, and I personally, like I said, I'm an HR director for a pretty large company, and I love to see professionals have HR internship experience because, not everyone, a lot of times, not everyone has internship experience. It shows me that that person really wants to get into the field, they have drive, and they're willing to even take on a summer internship. When I did my internships back in the day, I didn't have HR internships. I did a sales internship. So an HR internship is great. So you should definitely put that on your resume. All righty. I see that Tangela is here. She says she hopes everyone is doing okay. Nice to see you on this Sunday. Um, and you have a question. Would you say student services falls under the umbrella of human resources? So not necessarily, but there's so many transferable skills in student services. Let me tell you, when I was first trying to get an HR job, I was having such a hard time. I don't know if you guys saw the first live that I did a couple weeks ago, but I talked about that no one would give me a chance. I actually have a video on this channel, and it's called Don't Give Up, right? No one was giving me a chance to get into human resources. I have my MBA, my master's, but I didn't have any HR experience. And those are some of the positions I applied to at universities here in Atlanta. I applied to student services positions. Like I said, there's so many transferable skills. Talking to students, helping them, assisting them on their career path. Also, when they have maybe issues with a professor and you're trying to help them navigate that, that's the same thing that HR does. When we employees have, issues with their manager and we try to help them, navigate or resolve the situation. But there's so many transferable skills in student services. So if you are in student services, I think that's a great start. But like I said, begin to make an inventory, go to HR job posting and see the skills that they're looking for, and then try to match them up. And you may feel like you're reaching, but you're really not. If I interview someone that's in student services and they can explain to me how what they do on a daily basis matches what I'm looking for and the skills that I'm looking for, I would be very impressed. So, all righty, all good questions. So keep them coming. But until we get more questions, I definitely wanted to talk more about job hopping. So, like I said, there was a little bit of unconscious bias that I had for those resumes that I was just putting to the side because I thought these people were just job hopping. So, in the same article, it says that hiring managers instantly disregard a resume featuring someone that has had short job stints. That's me. I'm that hiring manager. It says nowadays the idea of job longevity is bordering extinction, right? So that person that's been at the job for 20 years, it's not as common anymore, right? And it's saying that as hiring managers, we have to change how we view resumes and how long people stay at jobs. It says that employers are slowly changing their outlook towards job hopping. So why do job hoppers leave their jobs after a year or 2 years? So for the most part, it's that they're looking for a better pay. Maybe they're just looking to get into a better situation. Maybe they're having issues with their current manager or a coworker, and they just don't want to stay in a toxic environment. And it's only been a year and a half or 2 years. Most of the times, job hoppers will leave because of career growth and opportunity. Maybe they're in a company or a position where there's no clear path to growth and they don't see that. And nowadays, if people don't see that, if employees don't see a clear career path, they're more likely to leave because everyone wants to grow. Most people want to grow. There are some people that are just okay in their position and they've, found their niche and they're okay. But a lot of, especially young professionals, they want to grow, and that's why we may look at them as job hoppers. So I think for me, it's a lot of changing my mindset, right? As I look at these resumes that I'm looking at, and being a little bit more forgiven, right? And not thinking that because someone's leaving because they're a bad employee. So next, so in that same article, there was pros and cons of job hoppers, right? So if you just joined us, we're talking about job hoppers, and those are folks that stay at jobs for 1 to 2 years. So the pros, it says that they possess a diverse set of skills. So because they've been to multiple companies and multiple positions, they picked up skills. Maybe they know how to use multiple systems. For that, when I was reading that, I was just like, well, if they've been hopping, maybe they haven't really been there long enough to fully grasp or be an expert in that particular skill or that system. So I think it could be a pro, but with caution, right? So those are just some things that, like I said, through my research, because I'm looking to hire somebody, I was just wanted to find out a little bit more about what is considered. They also said a pro to someone that's job hopping is that they're risk takers. That could be a good or a bad thing. It just depends on what industry you're in as well. So, being a risk taker could be a great thing in a field like maybe they're into a high tech industry, right? And they are more creative people and they're more risk takers. They are not shy to introduce a idea or something like that. So that is something that the article definitely mentioned, that they are risk takers. Alrighty, we have another question. So Sherry says, what signs should you look for that your job has no growth potential? So great question. So I would say the first sign, and you know what, and when I do these lives, I like to speak from personal experience as well. So a couple months ago, I had someone on my team ask me, okay, what is the next step? And I realized that I haven't really formulated career paths for all of my employees. That's the first step. You talk to your manager, you ask them what's the next step, and they really don't have an answer. That might not be a good thing, and I'm guilty of that myself. Um, and then also, if depending on the company that you're at, right? So let's just say you're accounting manager, and they may have different levels. So they might be accounting manager 1, accounting manager 2, 3, and you see that those positions are potentially available. There's some career growth. You know that the company has done the work to lay out different levels within the field or the role that you're in, right? And then also look around you. Are others getting promoted? Right? That's usually a good sign. If no one's getting promoted, no one's moving, that's probably a sign that the company doesn't foster career growth as well. But like I said, a very good indicator is talking to your manager or your supervisor on, even during a performance review, right? Having that conversation and saying, where do you see, I know where I see myself and where I would like to be, but what do you see from me? And they should be able to let you know what potential career path and what's the next position. When we do performance reviews at my company, there's a question that asks the manager, what's the position that you see this employee growing into? So that's a company that fosters growth, because they want each manager to begin thinking of what's the next step for each employee. But not every company is like that. Great question. All righty, so we have a few on. If you are new here, let me know. If you're new, type in new and let me know where you're tuning in from. So just a few cons about job hoppers, getting back to the job hopper conversation. So A few cons is that they have a high chance of hopping again. So if you've actually taken the chance and hired someone that is job hopping, chances are they probably won't stick with you for too long if you're not meeting their needs. And in this current landscape, especially with young professionals, oh, it is hard to meet every need that they have. I hate talking about millennials because for the most part, I manage um, folks that are younger than me that are like I would say they're millennials, and they are awesome. I have such a great team, so I never want to talk negatively about young professionals. But I would say just being in HR, it's really hard to satisfy everyone, especially someone that's moving from job to job, because one thing that irks me is the first thing that they say when they start is, "We never did it this way," and y'all are doing it this. I hate when someone starts a job and they refer to us, like their current team, as you all. And I'm like, well, you're part of the team now. So funny thing. All righty. So new from North Carolina. Welcome, Tangela. I hope you join me next week. And so next week, I'll tell you guys, I won't be in Atlanta. I'm actually traveling to the Virgin Islands next week. But I'm hoping to keep the live on Sunday next week. I just won't be in my current location. So hopefully I have a good setup and we have no problems with connectivity or anything like that. But if you don't join my live, it's okay. Just please subscribe to the channel as well so that you get notifications on my new videos. Alrighty, so last con about a job hopper that I was going through on this article is that they're unsure about their goals and their experiences scattered too. So that's one thing that I've noticed even with interviewing when I ask someone that's been to multiple jobs, what is their goal? Their goals for the next 5 years. Usually the answers are a little bit scattered because they're still trying to, you know, land somewhere, get their feet wet and stay somewhere for a long time. And they're, maybe unsure about the field that they want to stay in, just because they've had so many different experiences that their brain might be a little scattered. So that's what I've seen. So not that I've never hired a job hopper. I have. I think I do a pretty good job of hiring, but I take the time to understand why they're moving. And if they're moving for career growth, that might be a great thing, right? You have someone that has ambition, that has drive, and they see their goal. But I do, and the same breath, I say that you have to put in the work to get there, right? Too many times we have young professionals that just want to, get a fast pass forward and they don't want to put in the years of work that we all did to get to our position. So I see that a lot as well. All righty, so we have one more question and then we're going to close out. So Tangela says, what are some major signs of workplace bullying and how to deal with it as far as a small company to a large company? So great question, great question. I actually just finished a course on harassment in the workplace. So I definitely have a lot of experience, even in my HR, job dealing with workplace bullying. So some of the major signs of workplace bullying, if it depends on if you're a manager, right? So if you're a manager and maybe you have some bullying, whatever, you definitely see a lot of groups congregating, a lot of gossip, um, a lot of unnecessary jokes, things like that. I've seen in my career, and teams not working together, performance issues, especially with those that are being bullied. A lot of times when a manager comes to me and says an employee's having performance issues, I am so I try to stay in the middle, right, and really dive into and peel back the onion and find out what is going on with the employee. Are they having a any personal issues, mental, they need a break or a leave or something like that. And then one of the things that we ask is, how are they working with the team? And a lot of the times when we ask that and we start asking the manager questions about it, we do peel back the onion and find out that some bullying is maybe taking place as well. So a lot of the times, like I said, when you see groups clicking up and they're maybe having issues with an employee or one person or two people, then you start to really realize that maybe it's not that one person. Maybe it's something that you have a bad apple and they're just trying to get everyone involved in the conversation and the jokes or whatever. Um, from an HR perspective, it's easy for us to pick that up. But if you're asking maybe from a new employee perspective, you're going into a company and something just doesn't seem right, I would say definitely as a new employee, when you start that job and you have someone telling you about someone in a negative way right away, that possibly is a sign that that person, may be bullying the other person as well, right? I always say, why tell a new employee something so negative about a person? Let them experience that for themselves. But yeah, you see a lot of congregating and chit chatting behind a person's back. That is definitely a great sign. It's easier to deal with, I would say, at a large company because there is levels of, that person can go to HR, they can go to a director. There's so many different avenues. They can call a compliance hotline at a big company. It's very harder to deal with at a small company because there might not even be an HR person, right? So it's definitely a risk to a small company because that person can file a harassment claim if that company, if they have an HR person, and if they don't, maybe it's just a company owner or something like that. If they don't handle it well, that company definitely can be at risk. So great question. All righty. Well, thank you guys for the questions and joining. Oh, I almost kicked over my camera. Thanks for joining this Sunday's live. I hope that you guys have a great rest of the week, a great week, and a great rest of the Sunday. For me, I'm about to go eat dinner. And like I said last time, I'm a big House of Dragons fan. So Sunday night, House of Dragons is my jam. But tonight, I don't know if I have any Walking Dead fans. So I think the last 6 episodes of Walking Dead, not all 6, but the one of the 6 is premiering tonight at 9, the same time as House of Dragons. So I'm kind of like in a pickle here, but I think I'm gonna watch House of Dragons first, and then maybe at 10 I'll go back and watch The Walking Dead. I've been watching The Walking Dead forever, for years. So any other Walking Dead fans or House of Dragon fans on, please let me know in the comments. Tell me I'm not the only one that watches Walking Dead or House of Dragons. But if you're a House of Dragon fan, I am just excited for tonight's episode. Last week they had fast forward like 15 years in the future, and so they kind of sped up the show. And Rhaenyra is my favorite character, so I am excited to see what is happening tonight. So I don't see any comments and anyone likes House of Dragon or Walking Dead, so I guess I'm the only one. So I'll just stick here with that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully I'll be back next Sunday. Like I said, I will be on the road, but that's the beauty of being a content creator. I have my cell phone and I will take it on the road and we will try to go live next Sunday evening. Until then, if you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe so you get notifications. And like I said, I've taken my vlogs and my personal videos to my Mango Thyme YouTube channel. So definitely go over there and subscribe to keep up with me on a personal level. So thanks for watching and have a great week. Bye.